going to find an empty space full of gray, which is where it is right now, and I'm going to click and hold, and I'm going to drag my mouse around to create this highlight box, okay? I'm going to highlight all these video clips just like that right there. Perfect. Now, once I do that, I can let go with my mouse. I can click and hold whatever I highlighted and move it all the way to the front of the beginning. Perfect. Just like that. Awesome. Now at the very beginning, zoom in a little bit. There we go. Let me take this back right there. All right, zooming out. Remember, when you guys zoom in and out on the timeline, you press the minus and the plus key that you guys are going to find on the very top of your keyboard, near where you see backspace, okay? So from here, I moved all of my video clips forward. Now let's get the mess out that I don't really need, where I'm walking from number 1 to number 2, and then from number 2 to number 3, and then I walk back towards the camera. So right here, that little point that I made, I can click down on the arrow key, the down arrow key, and that takes you to the next step. I hold down to the right, that's me moving. I don't really need this video clip right here, so it's this one that we're focused on. Let's click and highlight and delete it. Nice and easy. All right, let's move on. I'm going to press down on the arrow key twice. 1, 2. All right, right here, this is where, okay, this is the part where I move right there, and I do not want this, so let's click on that, delete it, clicking backspace, and we'll do the same thing right here with this little last clip that we detected, okay? So take this out. Now we should have 3 different clips. Number 1, number 2, and number 3. Perfect. All right, so these are your 3 different video layers that you guys are going to worry about. All right, now with number 1, let's take our little blue block at the top here, and let's move it back to the top. There we go, where the playhead is. Now, I'm going to press the plus and the minus key up on the top of my keyboard, near where it says backspace, and I can zoom in, I can zoom in, I can zoom out, I can zoom out, I can zoom out. But obviously, let's zoom in a little bit until we can see all 3 of them just across my timeline like that. That's a pretty good spacing. That's what we need. Okay, so let's go ahead and click and drag. Click, hold, and drag our mouse across the timeline. We're going to highlight all 3 of these together. And then what we're going to do here is right click. So right click with your computer mouse, and then you're going to find the option that says unlink right here, unlink. When you do this, you separate your video, which is still highlighted around white, from your audio, which is just down here, and it's just blue. This right here, I can now move this freely around wherever I please, and it doesn't have to be in sync with my audio anymore. So now I can click on these audio parts, and I can just delete them because I really don't need them. So once I have these 3 separate all by themselves, we'll go down here in this gray area, click and hold, and drag and highlight just the 3 audio clips that you see right there. Let's go ahead and delete those. Perfect. All right, now here's the part where we're going to work on layering and making sure that everything is organized the way that we need it to, okay? So layer 1 right here is going to have the number 1. Layer 2 right here is going to have the number 2. And then layer 3 right here is going to have the number 3. Perfect. So what you can do is, in order to keep it all organized and nice, red, green, and blue, or RGB, is a very popular term that you guys might know, whether it's about a keyboard or a headset or a desktop computer, gaming monitor, whatever it is. RGB, those are 3 primary colors, red, green, and blue. So I'm going to take this video clip right here with me holding the one on the right. I'm going to right click it, not that one. I want to not right click the gray box, or else it'll do that. Right click the blue box. So right about here, right there. There we go. Right click that, and then you're going to go to where it says label. When you find the label option, go to where it says rose, okay? Rose is more red, okay? Rose is sort of kind of pinkish, but it's red. I'm just going to pretend it's red for this case, okay? Now red, green, and blue. Same process we do over here with number 2, where I'm holding the 2 up. Right click this, not that one. Right click that. Now go here to label again, and then we're going to go to green. Perfect. So now I have a red video, I have a green video, and I have a blue video. Those are all going to go to their specific layers according to the number that I'm holding up. Okay, so now we're going to take our V2 that we see right here, this number 2, which is green. We're going to drag our green. We're going to click and hold, and we're going to drag it up, and we're going to move it just one layer above the red. Okay? One layer above the red. So it's going to stay up there. Okay? If you want to drag your blue block, here we go. Drag this playhead over. Now we only see number 2. We only see number 2. Where did number 1 go? Number 1 is actually underneath. It's behind number 2. Okay? Because we put it on a video layer on top of it, number 1 is hidden behind number 2. We'll have to open up a window or a mask on number 2 in order to see number 1. All right. Now let's bring number 3 on top here. Here we go. Bring 3. Click and hold and drag above at the beginning. Now all we see is 3. We don't even see 2 or 1 anymore. That's the same thing. 3 is taking up all the space. We have to create masks in order for us to actually be able to see the videos that are underneath. Okay? So, number 1, before we do that, I'm going to zoom in on my timeline by pressing that plus key once or twice, maybe 3 times. There we go. And I want to make these videos all the same length. Here we go. Let's shorten that green one. We'll take it down to the red one. Let's shorten the blue one. Let's take it down to the red one. All right, this right here is only a 2-second long video. 2-second long video, nice and easy. Super, super short, but we're going to learn how we can apply these effects, okay? Now, we have the videos layered. Red is 1, 2 is green, and 3 is blue. That's layer number 1, which is V1. Layer number 2 is V2, and 3 is V3. Perfect. All right, so now, here's the part that we're going to have to worry about. So part 3, number 3 right here, video layer 3, we only need to see this left portion of the video. All this over here on the empty side, that's where our number 2 and number 1 are hiding, okay? So we're going to have to create a mask for number 3 by doing this, all right? Create a mask by making sure that we are clicked and we are highlighted with this little white around our blue. We are clicked and highlighted on number 3. And then we are going to go up here to our source monitor window. We're not going to pay attention to whatever's here. You might have audio track mixture, you might have text, or whatever it is. It doesn't matter. What you need to focus on is going to this arrow. It's these 2 little tiny arrows that you see my mouse hovering around. Click on that, and then you're going to go to where it says Effect Controls right here. Click on Effect Controls. So we are now going to change and adjust effects to this video, which is me holding up the number 3. And then we're going to click on where it says opacity. If you don't see that, make sure that you guys click on motion or whatever, and you don't worry about that. You can click that little drop down arrow. Find where it says opacity. Click on opacity and click this drop down arrow, okay? Clicking that drop down arrow. And now, simple enough, we're just going to have a nice 4-pointed polygon mask or just a simple square rectangle. Go ahead and click this and watch it happen. Now, my 3 disappeared. It's only this window, and I see number 2 right there. Now, this is the mask that we put on number 3. If I bring my square over here, boom, there I am holding up number 3. Perfect. You guys should be seeing the same thing. Maybe it's over here on this side, but you should be seeing the same thing. Just go ahead and explore around your video and see if you can find it, okay? Now, the next part that you're going to do is that you're going to take this part and you are going to